About 5,000 children die daily in the world from water-related illnesses. Medical research documents that there are cases of permanent damage to women's health as a result of carrying water in areas of water scarcity. These observations are just a little bit of the consequences of lack or insufficient water in the right quality. And so the United Nations has set a target, and that is to ensure the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all by 2030. And this, according to the UN water publication, is possible through the improvement of water quality and efficient use. On this episode of Big Story, let's see the water situation in Nigeria and the plans to be part of the 2030 target of the United Nations. Every human being has the right to access between 50 and 100 liters of water per day for personal and domestic uses. Water must be safe, acceptable and affordable, not exceeding 3% of the household income. The source of water has to be within 1,000 meters from home, while collection time should not exceed 30 minutes. These are included in what the United Nations General Assembly recognizes as human rights to water and sanitation. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has observed that about 66 million people in Nigeria do not have access to safe water, while 110 million lack access to improved sanitation. Most of these people reside in the rural areas of the country, and the result is that they turn to other sources of water like stream for domestic, agricultural and personal uses. But most times, this water is not safe because about a quarter of the population still practice open defecation. What this means is that having defecated in the open, when it rains, the flood carries these feces into the same water and the people go back there to get water for their use, which include drinking, cooking and bathing. The lack of water is also experienced in urban areas. In Akerele extension of Surulere in Lagos State, it seems it's a mixed bag when the topic is discussed. Imam Tajuddin Balogun lives here with his family and says they've been here for over 3 decades. 30 years ago, the water situation was good and their water supply was from the state.
But along the line, all the pipes are corroded. So if one wants to enjoy the water, it needs to change the pipe again. We went down to their office, we complained, and they give us their workers. We buy the pipe, and they lay the pipe for us again. So that's how we start enjoying the water.
He, however, says there are interruptions to this enjoyment.
Water, if there won't be the water, at times they do announce, at times they do not announce. We just wake up, we didn't see water. But at times, thank God that we have another borehole consulted by one of these honorable for us. So we don't get the government water, we see the borehole around. So we do use both.
On the same street but a separate compound, Bemi Okume has been having a different experience.
We don't have water inside the flat for many years ago. But there are some houses, they are still getting water little by little. But likewise me, I don't have water in my flat. But I use water from the borehole, which was constructed by the individual in the environment. I'm talking of maybe 8 years ago. We do pay. Then there was water constantly. But after a while, there was no water. And after some time, when the water was rushing, it will be colored. Look like something poisonous. Then I went there to complain. They say maybe they are washing the tank or maybe they are sterilizing, they are chemicalizing their water or whatever. Then after some time, it was stopped.
His experience is similar to that of the residents of Adelabu in another part of Surulere.
In this compound, we had to individually come together, and then we got people to connect the tap, the well water rather. We did it like a sort of borehole. So it pumps. When we pump the water, we now get it in our individual flats, and then we only use the water for cooking and laundry. Of course, it's not. We don't drink it, so we had to look for alternatives like packaged water. That's what we drink.
Salon owner Adeyemi Eshinlokun feels the pinch more as the line of work requires the use of large volume of water.
They sell water down on the road, and then we go there, buy water, and then sometimes we went to second house, there's well there with fresh water when the well is clean. Sometimes in a week we spend 500 naira to buy water, but sometimes in the morning when there's water we just spend like 300. Sometimes in a week we spend 500, or sometimes for 2 days or 3 days we spend some 500 or 200 naira. If my children does not wasted the water, we can manage the water, or we say we should get fresh water inside the well.
She says this has been the practice for over 10 years, which has been operating here in spite of promises.
There was one time they are doing the road, that they're still doing the road. They told us that they're going to give us water corporation to this street, and then we didn't hear anything about of it again.
Running a petty laundry business on Aino Street in Ojota, Gabriel Afolayan does not have the option of fetching water from a neighbor's compound because all the compounds here do not have government water, except 3 where boreholes have been sunk. One of them have become his customer because of the proximity to his store.
It's because of the stress of using the keg to fetch it, so we have to run the hose down from the drum there, down to where we used to buy it. So when the water is full, then we detach the hose. Per drum is 150. And if you fetch 2, they can give you 250. Because we also use it for business. It depends on how many clothes that we wash. So that one will determine how many drums we are going to use. Some we use like 2 drums or 1 drum.
And one would not blame Gabriel if he passes this cost to his customers.
We didn't normally have the charges. We have a benchmark, and any amount that we realize, we reduce the expenses for washing and all those things. We didn't used to charge them for water. We do that on our own expenses.
The story is the same for domestic use.
Since I've packed it into this place since 15 years now, we have been suffering for water. For past 15 years now, we have been buying, at least for me alone with my family, we spend not less than 150, 200 naira every day for water.
The keg goes for about 10 naira, and the round plastic type also goes for about the same amount. And for those who cannot carry, or who are on the average, let's use that word, they send Mala to buy for them. Mala buys at the rate of 10 naira, I think 10 naira per drum, and they sell at 50 naira. So average consumption, one could use as much as say 500 naira a day, depending on what they are doing, because the same water is used for cooking, for bathing, and for washing. When the desirable is not available, the available becomes the desirable. The water might not be that clean for drinking, but as it is, it serves other purposes. We believe that, well, if you are cooking with it, once you boil it, you can use it.
Landlords are not exempted from the situation.
Those days there was government water, but even though if you do a borehole, the water is red. So many people have done borehole, there is no water, except the government will come and help us, will come to our aid.
Yeah, but have you made an attempt, you understand, to it?
So many times I wrote a letter and some of the landlords, they signed. I went to Jora, I copied council at Ogudu. Those days, I went so many letters to Jora where they have their headquarters that we don't have water. There's a lady who came with a big paper like that. They said they are bringing water for us. That was about 2 years ago. They take our name. I even saw my name inside the paper that there is list, there is water coming. Up to now, we have not got any water. People are selling water. We are running to problem with water.
With this state of things, it is commonplace to see individuals who deal in water either on their way to sell or buy. And while some complain about the situation, others have found the business.
To buy them, 10 naira. To sell it, 15 naira. So now we want to start now. So if you wash clothes now, if you use 2, it's okay for me now.
Buying 10 naira, I'm selling 15 naira.
And then you sell up to 15 a day. I'm making a lot of money.
Eh?
That means you're making a lot of money.
No.
The issues in providing water to Nigerians have also been felt in the administration of the Water Corporation in various states. For instance, in Kwara State, between the 8th and the 10th of December, workers stopped work and laid siege at the gate of the corporation, demanding the payment of their 3-month salary.
They've destroyed this corporation and nothing is moving well. So that is why you see us standing here, and we are vowed that we will not leave this place until all our requirements, all what we need to survive in life is being given to us.
We are going on 3-day strike. After that day, that we don't pay our salary, we are going to go on strike if they need anything.
And hopefully their plea will bring circle to not just the workers, but the residents of the state who have to go extra miles to get water for daily use.
The government has intervened. The government is speaking to the management and to the striking workers in order to come to an amicable resolution of these issues. The administration has also mandated a team of accountants to look into the books of not just the Water Corporation, but other parastatals, especially the ones that are revenue generating. And so between these two strategies, we are confident that this issue will be resolved amicably.